Hey friends, it's Ritz. Welcome to The Monster Inside. This is a free-to-play game that is on Steam right now. Check it out if you like. I figured I'd check it out because it's free, and I was like, yo, let's start playing some, like, maybe single-player-y games, and then if you guys like them or like one-offs like this, then maybe we'll continue and do some single-player. Just trying to bring in some new stuff to spice up the mix of our uploads. So, let us jump in to The Monster Inside, an audio-visual novella by Random Seed Games. The Monster Inside by audiovisual novella, sorry, by Random Seed Games. My head pounded, ears still ringing slightly. Some of the worst nightmares I'd had in years left me feeling like I'd been punched in the jaw. But just like any other day, I dragged myself to the office. There was another notice on the door from Mayor Vanetti's office. Permits out of date. They didn't like me much and were trying to drown me in paperwork. It was a slow month, weeks since I'd had any real case to work on, so I passed the time pacing the office, smoking and staring at the mirror in the corner, safely covered with an old bedsheet. I don't dare look at my own reflection. I'm too afraid of what I might see, afraid that someday I might have to face what I really am. The girl came in so quiet, I nearly choked on my cigarette. Mister, please, you gotta help me, mister. So we can say, calm down now, sit and talk slow. Yeah, what can I help you with? Calm down now. Sit and talk slow. Okay, thanks. It's just, no one will listen to me. Just tell me your tale. I'm listening. She had me with just a dash of suspicion as I tossed back a handful of pills and chased them with a swig of whiskey. I could tell this might take a while. Her name was Lily. She told me she was his mistress. The man all over the newspaper. The infamous banker, Mr. Reginald Farnsworth. Mr. Farnsworth was a drunk, philandering bastard. But this girl seemed genuinely concerned that he had recently gone missing. Less concerned about the fact that Mr. Farnsworth's wife had just turned up dead in Central Park 2 nights ago. Lily, you don't understand. He just couldn't have done it. He hated his wife, but he couldn't have killed her. Everyone thinks it was him, and no one will believe me. He's gotta be in trouble. I ain't saying that I believe you, but what makes you think he's in danger? Well, Mr. Jack. You can just call me Jack. Just Jack. If you get that reference, write down the show in the comments, and I'll be very impressed. Jack, whoever did this to his wife must have been the one who took him. He would have never left without me. He promised me. I'm sure Mr. Farnsworth promised this poor girl a lot of things. Please, please, the cops won't listen to me and they want to bring him in on charges. You gotta prove it wasn't him before they find him. Honestly, I doubt they're in too much of a hurry. Farnsworth had practically the entire police force in his deep pockets. Probably why they hadn't found much yet. If they found him and brought him in, it would be due to public pressure. Sometimes a mob with pitchforks is more dangerous than one man with money. You've got my curiosity. Sorry, we have to do this as like a brooding detective named Just Jack. You've got my curiosity, but you might not like what you find. Sorry. Line! You got my curiosity, but you might not like what I find. Oh, thank you, Mr. Jack. Thank you, but please be careful. Sorry, that's not. I did that wrong. It would be more along the lines of this. Oh, thank you, Mr. Jack. Thank you. Please be careful. I don't think this was just any murder or kidnap. I think it was a beast. Beast? The word struck me funny. Like when you jar your elbow on a hard corner? It's like, beast. Beast. Beauty and the Beast. No, it's a different thing. Not a word many use these days, except in hushed whispers and bedtime stories for children. Oh, they were real enough, all right. They just got better at hiding, controlling their unseemly urges, but I hadn't seen any monsters in nearly 15 years, back when I was still a cop myself. Well, we got three lines. We'll that's definitely an interesting theory. I can help you. We'll get to the bottom of it. Don't you worry now. Or leave the detective work to me. Let's not jump to conclusions here. Well, that's definitely an interesting theory. I just have a feeling about it. Something tells me you can get to the bottom of it. You're good at this sort of thing. Sure, can't you see how busy I am with cases? I replied a little too harshly. Sarcasm wasn't my strong suit. I reassured her some more and then sent her on her way. I didn't want to scare her, but I warned her before she left to keep her doors locked and call me if she saw anything suspicious. I don't know if she was in any danger herself, but better safe than sorry. That night, I made my way down to Central Park. It was a long shot, but maybe there was something the cops had missed. Next chapter. Chapter 2! The scene was already picked clean by the cops days ago, but I've got a knack for finding things that others overlook. A knack. More of a symptom of a condition. Other, less useful symptoms I kept in check, but for the time being, my keen sense of smell would come in handy. It was faint, but I could smell it before I even approached the police line. The scent was less of a thing and more of an emotion. Seduction. A strangely familiar smell. And before it's the girl, Lily. What if, calling it now, calling it right now, before we finish this game, Lily's the killer, and Mr. Farnsworth is also involved somehow. Because Lily was also sleeping with Mrs. Farnsworth, she was sleeping with both, and then they find out, and then, yeah, that's how I think this thing might be, I don't know. Anyways. I expected the scent of trepidation, or maybe even outright fear, but Mrs. Farnsworth seemed to have been at the height of pleasure when she left this world. Brought a new meaning to a crime of passion. Pushing the thought from my mind, it's time to get down to business, to defeat the Huns. Wrong game. Investigate the scene. So we've got some stuff to investigate here. We can actually click around a little bit. So we got this nice little light going on. We got some rocks. We have whatever that is. And then we've got these. There's only two things to really check. So I'm gonna check this first. Muddy footprints everywhere. Difficult to pick out anything from the prints the cops left behind in their haste. But the cops don't wear $2,000 pairs of Carquinos. It looked like Mr. Farnsworth was there that night and walked away on his own 2 feet. A burn mark on a nearby tree caught my eye. I ran my finger along its length and felt a chill down my spine. This wasn't just any burn mark. This was the mark of an ancient magic. It's doubtful the cops would have picked up on it. Could Lily have been right? Something unnatural was at play here. Gotta say, slightly more cool, again. But I was no stranger to the strange. Just check. After looking around for a while longer, I realized the park had given up all it was hiding from me. So I trudged back to my apartment, and my head hit the pillow like it owed me money. Next chapter. Chapter 3. The next morning, I was reeling from another bout of ghoulish nightmares, but I tried to hide my discomfort when I saw Lily was already sitting outside my office. She waited wordlessly as I unlocked my door and ripped down another notice from the mayor's office. I motioned for her to step inside. Seemingly afraid of what I might say, she finally worked up the courage to ask. So, what'd you find? Oh, come on, Mr. J. So, what'd you find? So, what did you find? Not sure about beasts, but something unnatural was at play. Unnatural? How do you mean? I can't give you details, but I'm looking into it. What does that mean? What about Reggie? Do you know where he might be? There were signs he was at the scene and slipped away. My tone was indifferent towards her as I turned and grabbed a bottle from my desk drawer. A dryness in my throat made it difficult to swallow my meds. But you told him where he went? Do you think the news this morning is related? The news? Oh boy. What news is that? Haven't you heard? Nope. Rough night, followed by a rough morning. And they found the police chief's wife down by the docks. They say it happened last night. Let me guess. Chief Amato is missing too. My face might have betrayed a hint of satisfaction as she confirmed my suspicions, but it faded quickly. Amato was a shit cop and a shit chief. He was half the reason I left the force, but now his wife was dead and I had more questions than I did the day before. The gears in my head started to spin, which wasn't helped by the splitting pain at my temples. I told Lily I needed time to work, and she left slightly dejected, wanting more answers than I could provide. That night after the cops had cleared out of the docks, I would slip down and see what I could uncover concerning Miss Amato's untimely demise. Demise? It's all the same. The cold air smelled strongly of salt and oil and... Could it be? That smell again. Like someone had bottled pure arousal and used it as perfume. It hit me like a long-forgotten memory, but the sensual fumes soon gave way to a rush of adrenaline. I knew exactly what the scent reminded me of, and that scared me more than not knowing. I looked down at my hands shaking. The nightmares. The headaches. No. I was better now. Reformed. I had to focus. No jumping to conclusions. Just follow the evidence. Investigate the scene. First thing I noticed is chains and stuff. Alright, so we're investigating the scene. We got two things here. We got this little spot here, and this one here, and nothing else as far as I'm aware. So we'll start with this one closest to the body first. Red Phoenix cigarettes. Same shitty brand I smoke every day. Everyone's got their vice. In before I'm the killer. In before I'm the killer! Former serial killer. Turning the cop / now I'm killing people and that's why I'm the nightmares? Potentially. I don't know. That's just a theory. I've got a theory. It's getting dreary. Red Phoenix. Alright, well this might be... this one might be... I might be the killer, but hold on. Red Phoenix cigarettes. Same shitty brand I smoke every day. Everybody's got their vice. There, just there, the smallest piece of purple fabric, torn and caught in a splinter of a board. The police report didn't say anything about Miss Amato wearing purple, and it was certainly of a quality that you wouldn't expect down here. Don't see too many high society types around flaunting royal purple threads. I pulled out my own pack of reds and lit up. I could already feel another headache coming on, but looking out over the waves seemed to help me forget. The cold helped me push down the uncomfortable thoughts that had been bubbling up to the top of my brain. I honestly don't remember the walk back from the office. Apparently I spent the night in my easy chair. The air from the docks lingered on my clothes. It was still dark out. No, I checked the clock. How long had it been out? Had I really slept through the entire next day? A newspaper was sitting under the door. As I stood to fetch it, I nearly fell over. A wave of nausea hit me like a ton of bricks. I steadied myself up and regained my composure. Before I even picked up the paper, I could already read the headline. Breaking. Mayor missing. Wife found dead. 2 cases is a coincidence. 3 is the pattern. The cops would come asking questions soon. They knew I had a history of antagonizing all the victims. I stumbled to my desk and slammed back 3 days worth of inhibitor pills. I couldn't take any chances. I had to investigate the scene to be sure. I threw on my jacket and went to the door. Lily caught me off guard on the other side. Jack! 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 Where you off to? I've been trying to reach you all day. I'm sorry, Lily, but I don't have time to talk. I have to go. Okay, but we need to talk when you get back. Stay safe. She gave me a soft kiss on the cheek as I rushed off. Part of me wanted to stay and tell her it would be okay. But it would be a lie. The alley was located just behind the high-rise apartments where Mayor Vanetti and his wife lived. I could tell the police were spooked now. The crime scene was even sloppier than the last. They hadn't even bothered to submit the trash into evidence. This is the car. Vanetti's car. If he's still alive, why wouldn't he have left in his car? It didn't make any sense. I honestly wasn't too motivated to find him, but the stakes were too high, and my bet was edging towards the unthinkable. Why wouldn't they at least look through the dumpster? It seemed untouched. No one wants to do the dirty work. But I know how to find the good stuff. It doesn't really take long if you know what to look for. Lightweight bags usually mean someone was dumping documents. If you were lucky, they didn't bother to shred them. Jackpot, shell companies, shady stock trades, bribes. I knew Mayor Vanetti was crooked, but this was unbelievable. And there was more. Letters between Mayor Vanetti and Chief Amato, talking about me. How they were trying to get me to shut down. They didn't like me snooping around crime scenes all the time. Well, they weren't here to stop me snooping around this one. I searched around for anything I might find, As I searched around for anything that might assuage my fears, I caught the scent again. It overwhelmed my other senses with undulating pleasure. It was intoxicating. A weapon used on the weak-willed. A weapon I knew all too well. Though it had been many years since I had to use it. Is it just me, or does it seem like he's the killer? Because, like, he has the headache, he had the, like, pills, the inhibitor pills he was taking, which is super weird. He had his, like, everything coming up, it seems like he might be the killer. I don't know. Was there no one like me? Was there another like me? Was I being framed? It wasn't possible, was it? I was taking my inhibitors. I was reformed. But the nightmares, the headaches, the memory lapses. I couldn't even trust myself. I started walking back out the alley when something shiny caught my eye. A watch. Not just any watch, though. My watch. How long my wrist had been bare? Surely I just dropped it when I first came down the alley. I checked the time before I left my office, hadn't I? Or had I used the wall clock? I couldn't be sure. I couldn't be sure of anything. So I ran. I don't know why I ran back to the office. The cops would probably show up any minute to knock down the door and cart me away. They'd put it together before long. It would be best for everyone if I simply faced my own reflection. But Lily was still there waiting for me. Jack, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Jack, what's wrong? Maybe Lily doesn't exist. That'd be even bigger. Fucking crazy shit. Jack, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. My own ghost came back to haunt me from the past. You're not making any sense, Jack. Come sit down. You don't understand. You're not safe around me. I took a good last look at her as I prepared to shove her out the door. I noticed she was wearing the same thing she had when she first came to my office 3 days ago. A beautiful purple dress. Odd that I hadn't really noticed before, but it made her seem out of place at a time. And it was frayed around the edges, torn in places. My chair caught my fall as my knees failed me. It was you. You were the monster! Succubus! Oh, Jack. We are one and the same, you and I. We are both monsters. I'm simply more honest with myself. There's no such thing as reformation. Those pills you take only make you dull. Beasts like us should never suppress our true nature as you have, Incubus. Those men were probably dead too now, I figured. She probably took them to her lair and harvested their seed. So you've done all this just to wake me up? You could say that. Though it seemed enough just to have you doubt yourself. You believed you were still capable of such horrors. Which means, deep down, you probably are. You can't escape it. Now I need you to complete the deed. You took my watch. Messed with my head. Oh, don't act like I didn't do you a favor. Those men hated you and wanted you gone. And now, they are gone. I mustered the strength to stand again, moving casually to the window by the corner. She was right about one thing. I was dull, weak compared to her. If I refused her and she attacked me, I was a dead man. I had to keep her talking. I've never met a succubus who seduces and kills women. Oh, please. Such a 14th century stereotype. I don't discriminate when it comes to pleasures of the flesh. But I do need an incubus like yourself to take the tainted seed I've harvested from those awful men and plant it among the fertile masses for me. I'm tired of draining my lovers just to survive. I'm ready to settle down and start a family. That maniacal laughter. I positioned myself carefully, making sure she was looking in my direction. Sorry, but I'm not your guy. With a quick flick of my wrist, I whipped the old bedsheet off the corner mirror. Lily was blinded by her own reflection and sucked into the mirror with a painful, monstrous scream. Trapped. Shielding my own eyes, I pulled out a revolver from my desk side drawer, aimed it at the mirror, and fired. Well, that was the Monster Inside. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys want to see more one-offs like this, or like more single-player things, please let me know in the comments. And I'll leave a like, share with your friends, those sorts of things. As always, friendos, my name is Ritz. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.